In this video, we're going to take a brief look at the human digestive system. We'll learn what organs are part of the system, as well as how they contribute to digesting our food and obtaining the nutrients we need. The mouth is the first stage of digestion and is one of two voluntary phases, meaning you are in control as you chew and swallow. Once you swallow, your food enters the involuntary stage, starting at your esophagus, which runs from the back of your throat down to your stomach. This involves the process of peristalsis, which we'll see later on. This J-shaped organ is your stomach, which lies at the left side of your body. Your stomach then connects to your small intestine, which curls around. It's called the small intestine, but it can actually get up to be 20 feet long, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. It's called the small intestine because of its small width, not because of its length, obviously. If you look inside the small intestine, there are lots of ridges, and if you look at the microscopic view, there are villi, which are finger-like cells. This increases the surface area, which allows for greater absorption of nutrients. And we'll see later, this is where most absorption occurs within the digestive system. It also involves the process of peristalsis, which gets the food through all of those twists and turns. Following the small intestine, which we'll see here soon, is the large intestine, so called because of its much larger width, not because of its much shorter length. The large intestine is where the water is absorbed to give to your body, and it's where we get most of our problems with diarrhea and constipation because it depends on how much water we absorb. The large intestine also has the process of peristalsis, which we'll see later on is the process of squeezing and pushing. It's when your organs squeeze, and when they squeeze, it pushes the food down further. And the squeezes allows the food to kind of get pushed through those organs, especially these really convoluted ones, which makes it a lot harder to get through, and it needs the extra oomph. The large intestine will then lead to the crowd favorites, which are the anus and the rectum. Rectum first and then the anus. And this is where the remnants of what we didn't digest and didn't absorb exits our body. And as you can see, that is the rectum and that is the anus. Finally, we have our accessory organs, which are the liver and the gallbladder. They're called accessories because they don't directly participate in the actual digestion of food, but they pour bile into our other organs, which helps with the breakdown of fats. Here's a breakdown of carbs that occurs in the mouth. There's the peristalsis going on in the esophagus, which then pushes the food down into the stomach. In the stomach is where the breakdown of proteins into amino acids occurs, and there's that bile coming from the liver and the gallbladder into our small intestines, which then allows for further breakdown of lipids into fatty acids, and then on to the greater breakdown of carbs, just like the mouth, and then also the breakdown of proteins like the stomach. This bolus of food, which is kind of the packed food, then moves into the large intestine. And as we'll see in here, we get to see some of that water being pulled out. And it stopped at the appendix because the appendix kind of checks to make sure that everything's in order. So it does have a purpose. And so there's all our water that we needed in our body, and now what's left over just nicely exits through the rectum and then out the anus, and, well, you know what happens then. And that is the miracle of the digestive system. We would be toast without most of these organs, so be nice to your digestive system and give it the nutrients it's looking for.